So this might be a very short video in a nutshell, but I'm gonna try to over-engineer this machine over here as much as possible, and I'm gonna see if I could just extend the video as long as possible. Hopefully I can. If I can't, then crap, I'll just fill it up with something else. But yeah, I guess welcome to this. The last time we worked on that little cooking machine that we made, which was very good and actually functional. Ever since then, I've wondered about how I'm supposed to power up the coal part, or the... Hang on, I'm going to show you. Come over here to the cooking machine. I've been wondering about how I'm supposed to power this blaze burner. And while it could be a super easy solution of just shoving coal into it, I feel like it's gonna be a bit more than that. A way to like put the coal into the blaze burners, and the fact that I'm gonna have multiple blaze burner, this is not the only one that's gonna be here. So there's going to be a lot I'm going to have to work on in general, but hopefully it's also not much. I'm really hoping it's like an easy process. I do also know you can feed them like lava or other stuff, but knowing the history of that, I think I'm gonna stay away from it. But enough about that stuff. We need to focus on making our charcoal machine, which, if you don't know how our charcoal machine is gonna work, we're basically gonna take wood from this now deactivated wood farm, and we're gonna make it into charcoal. The way we're gonna do this is very simple. Everything that comes out from here will go into this chest, and we'll have generally a lot of resources. Might be a tad bit of a problem considering the types of resources we get, but we're gonna sort them simply like this. If it's oak, we put it into the machine that's presumably gonna be over here. If it's literally anything else, like fucking twigs, apples, rotten apples, saplings, we'll throw them away or put them to use somewhere else. I have a few ideas what I can do with them, but for the time being I might just put them inside a storage chest or throw them into lava. I do generally have a few ideas on what I'm gonna do, but it just depends on how I build upon the idea. But alright, enough delaying about that, let's actually get the main part working. The way I want to make this work is I want to let this chest fill up with wood before we deposit a lot of wood, so that at least I have some chance of grabbing some of the wood. I'm not going to use one of these item vaults to store everything. I feel like for this one I'm going to just constantly use a chest. There might be a reason for that, I just can't come up with a good one. As I explained in the last episode, it's going to go from this chest into a coke oven that is then going to produce our charcoal, because you can make wood into charcoal. Hang on, I can show the recipe. As you can see, you can put any type of wood, it'll burn for a while, and it'll make charcoal. Along with the charcoal, it's going to make creosote oil, which my idea here was I'm going to use this to make treated wood planks. As good of an idea as this sounds, I realized a few issues almost instantaneously that I didn't think of when I did the last episode. How are we going to turn this into planks? I genuinely have no idea how I'm going to do that. So before we actually start the idea, I'm going to see how to make oak planks with crate. Alright, so from the looks of it, it seems like we're going to have to use a saw. Okay, so what I'm seeing is we have to take this wood, the oak logs, we have to make the logs into wood, and then we have to process it through a sawmill twice. I can't compact that. That feels like a lot of work just for planks. There is the other alternative of making this thing, the mechanical crafter, but I don't think I... Actually, I take that back. That is a very easy crafting recipe. Alright, mechanical crafter it is. Yeah, give me 1 second to craft this. Alright, so I've gathered the materials. It took an unusually long time to do it because I thought I didn't have any quartz. Having to go to the nether, going and finding quartz and then coming back. But hey, I got the materials for it, so we can actually test this one simple thing that hopefully will work. and will not be painful. So I'm gonna put this mechanical crafter over here. I'm gonna see how this works real quickly, because I haven't worked with old mechanical crafters, but I have at least a knowledge on how it works. So, in theory, if I put this oak log right into here, it will just create logs and throw it towards where the arrow is. To absolutely nobody's surprise, it did exactly that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up this coke brick oven, or coke oven. It's a coke brick, but I'm making it into an oven, because I want to set up the next thing after that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up at the rightmost chest. I guess it depends on which direction you look, because this is the front facing side, and okay, whatever, I'm making this too complicated. We'll have a brass funnel over here, a few conveyor belts, so I guess I'll put it like right here. So building that right there, and then using the hammer that I probably have right here, like so. I guess we can put that back. Yeah, it's just a coke oven. Nothing much to it. And what I will do is I will set up a brass funnel. Like I said, the idea is very simple. Just gonna make this piping over here. We are going to throw this away so that I can pull out the shafts that I definitely have in high quantity. That over there. Wait, why am I doing that? Brass funnel, andesite funnel. And this simply just is wood. Like that. And that's the first part done. However, we aren't completely done until we get the brass tunnels. Yes, I had to search that up. I forgot the recipe. I'm gonna put the brass funnel right here. And it's going to extend 2 blocks. Hopefully. Okay, so here is how I'm thinking. Because we can put those there. Then I'll place another one here. And then you put the final pelt I have with me. Like so. These will have to spin the same direction anyway, so yeah. Put that there. But how do I connect you two? That's the joke. I don't. And I don't have enough shafts with me. Luckily I have a lot in my inventory for some reason. A lot of andesite alloy, which I can just make into a shit ton of shafts. There. I'll make another mechanical belt. I don't have any belts. Why am I saying stuff that I don't have? Okay, whatever. Let's say it just doesn't work, I guess. I don't fucking know. I'll get a second belt. But I'll have to work on that later. Because what we have to do is at least fix these. I need to fix the next thing, which is this chest thingy. Which shouldn't be a lot to do. I hope. Alright, so the next plan here is I'm just now going to make that little thresholder thing. And if you don't know how to do that, you have to make this little threshold switch, which will connect into our little chest. And then what we can do is we can like make an inverse signal. So, when it's at, I don't know, 90%, it will deactivate. But then when it reaches like 10%, it'll... Yeah, I don't know. Wait, hang on, what is it on right now? It's on activate. And for some reason it's not powering that. Great. Let me just, I guess I can put it there. Invert the signals. Connect to that, for God's sake. Why are you making this difficult for me? All you have to do is just send your signal there. What if I use a torch? Will that make it easier for me? Yeah, it will. Okay. Hang on, I got this. There. Okay, perfect, perfect. And I will invert the signal again. Why is redstone so annoying? Why can't just redstone work? Okay, so here's the technique. When this is powered, because hopefully we won't be needing much power for it, it will output out the wood. But it won't do it unless this chest is at least 80% filled. Which 80% filled in our case is at least 80%. Do the math on this. No, I don't have to do the math on this. Editor, do it for me. Just do 9 times 6, and then whatever result you get do that times 64. And like that's the full capacity. Then multiply that by 0.8, and you get the amount of wood that is needed to deactivate this redstone over here. And once that redstone over there deactivates, this belt funnel will output out wood. It will output out wood into the tunnel, which will hopefully be connected with this one, and they'll like cut it 50-50 with me blocking off this path so it doesn't like spew something out over here. The first 50% will go into the coke oven, producing charcoal. Simple. The other half will be going into a mechanical crafter that's going to be over here. And traveling merchant is over here. Don't do manslaughter. We don't want to go into jail tonight. The wood is going to come out, go into this thing. It's going to make planks. And then the planks going to come out. There's going to be some type of thing over here that's going to be connected with a copper spewer that is going to output the creosote oil onto the wood. And then we're going to have 2 chests each, or a drawer, I don't know. Only problem I have is how I'm going to power all of this. Oh, thank you for alerting me to that. As I was saying, the only thing I'm wondering about is if 1 water wheel is enough, because that's all I have left over here. And surely this is enough, right? Go away. I guess I could put the water wheel like here, I guess. That makes it a lot more easier to connect into this one. And then we'll put like a belt. Okay, yeah, I got it. This is actually very easy to power, because this one can take whatever direction. I just have to make this one go the right direction, which I can't do if this one is. I'm seeing the issues now. At least I see them now and not later, because I would have been too lazy to fix it. Yeah, let's see. Water will flow this way. So stop right-clicking that the wrong way. I know this will look ugly. I agree with you. But I don't care at this point. I just want this to work. Okay, there you go. That powers that. 1, 2, 3, 4. That might be a bit too slow. Yeah, that might be a bit too slow. Hang on, I might have an idea to fix this. Well, what do you think? Come on, you love this fix. It's not that terrible. And it gives us enough power for this thing. The water wheel is 256 SU, and I'm pretty sure these do not consume over 256. Maybe 128, but I barely think so, considering this is only consuming 64 stress units at this speed. So we should be fine. Alright, so now that we've done all of this, all we have to do is just power the entire thing. But before we power it, actually no, we're not done, now that I think about it. We're quite far from done. In fact, I haven't even set this part up. I've only set up this part. Well, let's start off with like clearing out all the items inside of here that is not wood. I think I have one solution for this. And that would be a deny list. Basically, all I have to do is just oak log, put this shit in here, then I'll put this in the wrong direction, but that's fine. We can put the filter first, and then we can swap direction. Now, this thing will output out resources. And all I have to do now is just accidentally use the wrong spell. All I have to do is just dig a hole. As you can see, it's right there. And then I have to just get a bucket of lava. Yes, I'm burning the resources. And you can't do anything about it. Except leaving a comment about it. Leave a comment about this. Tell me how you feel about me burning these extra items. I'll take care of them later. They'll get some better use later probably. Especially the twigs. But I'll have to see. Now, as I was saying, all I have to do now is just put a lava over here. And hopefully it'll just drop things into the lava. Why aren't you dropping? Okay, now it's dropping. Very simple. The only thing I'm concerned about is if it's gonna listen to the threshold switch. But I guess that's a problem for another time. Now moving over to making the treated copper. All we need is something known as a copper spewer? No. Spewer. No. What's your name? Why can't I spell? There. Treated Woodplanks. A spout. That's what your name is. Basically, this is possibly the easiest recipe so everything doesn't burn up. Do not burn my shit up. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna make you one more layer deeper so that the lava doesn't jump up. Now, by using the power of this oak log, this axe, and this random copper ingot that I have on me, we can make copper shit. Or, what's his name? Copper casing. Copper casing is made for all the fluid stuff in Create, so it's very useful to have this. And in our case, we're going to use it to transfer fluid from this thing so that we have fluids, I guess. I don't know, man. I'm making this shit up as we go. Now, as we've been working on this, I've actually tried a lot of kelp, so we have enough for our conveyor belt, if I can do this correctly. So 2 of them, and we can make our spout. Now, before I connect stuff up to power, I'm gonna hook you up to see if this will actually work finally. And it does. Great. I'm gonna put you on round robin. And I'm gonna use these netherrack bricks that I've gotten from nowhere to block those entrances. And then delete the rest. Nice. Now all we need to do is put the spouter over here, which this will be the height that is needed. And, last but not least, take a stack of oak logs and put it into the coke oven. Why? So they can make some creosote oil and so that we can test it. Luckily I just happen to have some mechanical pipes that we can use. So I can put that over there. And then we can bring out the most niftiest tool ever, the configurator, to configure that it needs to pull the resources from the coke oven and then push it into the fluid container. And in theory, this should produce our resources. Hopefully. We'll also take this and I'll put it right over here. I'll pull on you and then no, I don't want to put a different color on this thing. There. None. And let me go make some chests. Now, I'm really hoping to have this one recipe. I know that in all the mods you can do this and yeah, you get 4 chests. I love that recipe. So I'll put this up, then I'll put this up. And for you, it's just going to be a very easy configurating push. And for you, it's going to be a brass funnel, because that's all I have left. And that should be it. Let's test this. So connecting this into here. It's all rolling the right direction. But it's not giving me anything. Why? Because you're not active. So allow me to actually start this. Oh my god, why are you in there? How did you get in there? You know what? I'm not even gonna give a shit. Start it. Oh, it's gonna burn all the saplings I gave it? Okay, fine. Screw you too. I don't want to have those saplings anyway, but it should not be working. In theory. We are at least getting the charcoal, and the treated wood planks should allegedly come in here. But just to test this, I'm gonna grab one stack of oak logs. I'm gonna throw it in here. You are not... Why are you not going into the belt funnel? Do I not need a funnel? If I do you... That doesn't help. Do I actually have to Google this? Okay, so according to Google, it will put it inside a chest. Okay. So if I... Wait. If I make a chest. And I put it right here. Okay, so I may be bad at aiming. Yeah, there. Okay, we put it inside the chest. And then what we could do is we could just put that there, because why have it normally? And then there you go. The machine is technically done. It makes treated it makes creosote oil. So that you can make some treated wood planks, and it makes charcoal. But the round robin did not work the way I wanted it to work. So I'm gonna put that to split. I could put 4 split. But I don't know what the difference is. Whatever, split it is. And there you go, we're pretty much done. As long as this thing gets fed with the oak logs and outputs it, we will have treated wood planks, and we'll also have charcoal. That was more complicated than what I thought it would be. I feel like we could have made this machine a bit more compact, now that I look at it. Like, I could have definitely moved this into there. That way it wouldn't have been 3 blocks, it would have just been 2 blocks. And we'd have to deal with this shit. But I guess I wouldn't know how to get the power in unless I got it from, like, the extra side over here. Or from over here. It is still running a bit slowly, but honestly it's better than nothing. Oh yeah, and a little funny thing I learned about belts, like after the video, is apparently you can color them, like this. So that's cool. You can now make them a bit more colorful. I don't really know what to add for this part. But yeah, that's how you can make a compact treated wood plank machine, or charcoal machine, or something like that. Wait, what was this video about now again? Alright, well, since we got this machine done, I guess the next thing we can do is maybe work on the Botinia stuff. I still need to figure out what to do with this extra stuff that comes out, because otherwise it's just going to be burning forever. And I don't think that's a fun thing. Well, I don't know, maybe it is fun. Put a comment. Tell me what you think. I think it's a bit wasteful to do it like that. but it is a solution to keep the chest empty until it comes up to 80% so that it could output out oak wood or oak logs. Why couldn't they just call it oak wood? That just feels like extra steps to put it on the naming scheme. Whatever, end the video now or something. I don't know.